Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick update on what to expect with this episode. We had a really good time talking with Neil about the AFC East. Unfortunately, we did run into some technical difficulties where once he got done talking about the Bills, his video actually cut out. And so it's not going to make too much sense because we're just sitting there listening. And as much as we would, like to just look at ourselves, just, it doesn't quite make right. So, we're going to do a little bit of stitching here. We're going to try to do our best to give our takes on the entire division. Unfortunately, there's no way to recover Neil's takes, so we're able to still get his Bills opinions, which is what matters the most, coming that he's
Absolutely.
a Bills fan. But John and I are just going to re-record the rest of the division, and unfortunately, this is really our first major technical difficulty that we've had.
Hey, we
Pretty
have
good
20
that it's
episodes.
21 episodes in. So hope you enjoy the rest of it. Hope you work with us. And if you have any questions, you always know you can always comment, like, subscribe. We do our best to give some responses.
Of course. Now enjoy the episode.
You're listening to Birds Coast to Coast. Here's your host, John Clark and Tanner Riddle.
All right, everyone. Welcome
And
to Birds Coast to Coast. Jeez. Welcome to Birds Coast to Coast. I'm your host, John. Tanner's with us as always, and joining us for our first AFC East recap. We're we're joined by Neil, who is our AFC East expert. AFC East, I guess you would call him. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm an expert. I don't know. He's a
well,
Bills
some
fan.
would some would say, the last few years the AFC East owners, so last year withstanding, but
Wait, who won the
so
division last year? Oh,
not
Patriots.
us,
okay. So,
not us.
okay, yeah, owner. That's a better
Yeah,
way to say
but
owner.
the last few years before this last season, the owner
Oh,
of the AFC East. So hopefully we get that back, but yeah, you could say expert.
yeah. So, I think the better word is correspondent. So basically, what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna go each week and go to each division and bring on. We're gonna try to bring on someone. Look, we have a lot of friends. Not as many as we had at ECU. And back in the hot tub days, we'd find a friend every night. But we were making too much friends back then in Greenville. But we have a lot of friends, but we don't know if we have everyone to cover all the divisions. But when we have someone who can, damn it, we're bringing that person in. So we're
Where
bringing
most
Right.
are
on
busy
Neil.
and have lives, so luckily we
Yeah.
have Neil.
So Neil,
Yeah,
before we get
that's
started,
right.
I guess tell us a little bit about your history and why are you qualified to kind of speak on the AFC East? Give us a little bit of your history, your fandom, and what do you know about this division?
Why do
I
you
was like,
deserve
I
to
was
be
about to tell
here?
you my life story. Okay, fine. All right, now. So I was born in Buffalo, right? So outside of Buffalo, 45 minutes or so. So I grew up cheering them on, watching them, going to the games every once in a while. Not much, but we went to a few when I was, a young kid. Um, as John knows, actually, I had a little wayward period where I wanted to compete with him and our other friend.
Yeah, yeah.
So I leaned a little bit towards, I know, sacrilegious, the Patriots for a while, for like 2 or 3 years when I was like, what were we, like 10 years old?
Yeah.
Because I needed to compete. Look, this guy's the Eagles fan. 2004, the Patriots beat him. Our other best friend was a Panthers fan. 2003, the Patriots beat him. So I wanted to own both of my friends there. So who else could do that but the Patriots? So anyway, I came back though,
Rent free. Anyway.
rent free. That's right. I know. They
Rent
were rent
free. My
free and
God.
haunting my dreams. So I
My God.
decided I want to destroy them both. So that's what you do with your friends, right?
Of course.
So long story short, I found my way back to Loserville at the time. Um, but it was all about the identity of the city. I started watching the Sabres again, the New York Knicks, which is loosely the Buffalo team for basketball, and I've still been on the wagon ever since. So I don't see myself getting back off. I grew up there. I've been watching them for years. I know every move they make. I've seen all the disappointments, all the good times, but yeah, I've seen a lot of disappointment too. I'm glad to have these last few years. I'm glad to have Josh Allen. Yushio agrees. Um, Yushio, the sound she just made is the sound I used to make watching the 2014 Buffalo Bills. So, but yeah, um, I watch them play the Jets, Dolphins, and Patriots twice a year, so I'm pretty well versed with what they're doing and what they've been doing. Even though I just pulled up the Dolphins roster and was shocked at how barren it is, but we'll get into that in a minute. Uh, but yeah,
Awesome.
ready to party,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I mean, honestly, doing this divisional recap thing, we were thinking of pulling you on pretty early, just because, like, we're trying to bring in as many of the most expert, what's it called? I guess the expert personnel we have and the correspondents we can bring on. So we're trying to find the best people we can. So why not bring on Neil, who's lived and died with this team for basically since middle school.
No,
2 or
fan
3 years though.
perspectives are so much
But
better than the
no,
national
before two,
perspectives.
2 or 3 years there seem a
yeah,
little short, but
in the middle. No, no, no. That was 2003, 2004. I came back in 2005 because that's when Trent Edwards and Paul Posluszny were on the team. I remember. Anyway, Tanner, you are correct. I think people on ESPN get paid a lot of money to say stuff that gets the best take, right? And you don't get to hear the actual fans, the actual people who watch every day, the average Joes who probably know more facts than a lot of the people who get paid a lot of money to talk about it, let's be honest. So I agree, and it's a pretty cool segment. Yeah.
Yeah, like the natural perspective is just like drive by. It's just like top line,
Yeah.
what can we grab? Whereas the
Yeah.
fans who actually watch every game, every play, every quarter, talk about it every day, every week. I don't know. That's just more of an interesting perspective to
like
me.
for example, like what
Yeah.
does Stephen A. Smith actually know about like Philadelphia Eagles football? You know what I mean? Is he watching all these games? No. You know what I mean? Is Max Kellerman sitting down and watching all the Seahawks games? No. You know what I mean? So it's a wide net. So they talk a little bit about a lot of things. The fans talk a lot about one thing. So that's why we're bringing in the fans for these because they know a lot about these divisions. So I guess
All
we can
right.
start off.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna say so just so all the viewers know, us three have been friends for a long time. We've had a text thread that we text pretty much every day. So we always talk about this already, kind of. So this is going to be an interesting format because it's kind of like our text thread in
It's like an
podcast form.
extension. Yeah.
I just felt like the viewers should know that we're like you're gonna get our text thread experience.
Of
So
course.
this is a treat, all right? This is a treat.
You guys are it's funny because you guys are like the voices in my head that live in my phone, but it's like no, you guys are actually real people.
We
No,
do.
I'm actually having a schizophrenic mental episode, but no, it's just a guy I know
Who
in
doesn't?
Arizona and
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah,
Who doesn't
but
though, you know?
and we got some other people too in there, but they don't talk as much. But no, it's all good. We love you, Phil. We love you, Abe. But anyway, so where do you guys want to start? Bills want to start at the top with the Patriots. Want to start at the bottom? Where how do you want to roll with this, Tanner? What are you thinking is the best kind of start small,
Yeah.
go big, go small? How do you want to roll
Let's
with this?
start big. Let's start with the
Ooh,
Bills.
we're here with
Oh,
an
dude,
expert.
come
We're here
on.
with a
You mean
correspondent.
the number two team? Come on, no. So yeah, no, I think this is good. It's fresh. It's it's the most fresh information. So I mean, where do you want to start? The coaching change, the draft,
I,
the
Well, let's
Keon
talk about
Coleman.
last year. Let's talk about last year, like how you felt the season went, how it ended. I see you guys went 12-5, like a strong year, but I don't know, the Patriots schedule just was like a relentless, like I don't know, like hurdle to climb because no matter how many games you guys won, they just kept having like cupcakes on their schedule. So like they just kept
Yeah,
winning. So there's nothing you guys
yeah.
could do.
It
Is
was
that kind of how
also
the season
though,
went?
at the end of the day, it, you kind of gotta win your own games too, and that's where I think that was a big factor. That was a huge talking point because they had, I think it was, I remember something said they had the easiest historical schedule when it came to strength of schedule last year.
mhm.
I think that was
Yeah.
them, and obviously that's going to play a big factor compared to the Bills who went through the usual onslaught. You know, the Ravens. We get the best teams, the Chiefs. Um, those games have become marquee matchups, though. I do appreciate them because it makes a great watch. But at the end of the day, though, there's a lot of games you just got to win that we didn't win. Like the Falcons, that was just crazy. Like
The Eagles game.
they, Yeah.
most games.
Well, and
A little
that's fair.
2-pointer away.
Yeah, it's fair to lose to the Eagles. You should have took it,
It's more of a
but
how they lost than should they have
yeah,
lost. It's like they
yeah.
had it.
That's everything. Every one of the losses, though, it's almost like you can look at it and it's like, how did you guys find a way to do a new thing that you've never done before to lose? Like they just found a new way every time. And I have to say, and I'm not, I think this segues into the coach thing, I guess. Um, Sometimes it just feels like, man, McDermott didn't have a counterpunch to anything, and it's a problem that we've had year after year. And when the first thing doesn't go right, it's like, where do you pivot to? And it always feels like they don't have that. And that's what keeps Andy Reid schooling us and in the playoffs. Andy Reid has plan A, plan B, plan C, and he executes. Plan A doesn't work, he's got another one. And us is just like, plan A doesn't work? All right, break the glass. Go get him, Josh. Just fucking run
Yeah.
around it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say swear words, sorry. Just run around and throw the ball. It's like we don't have that. So I'm interested to see what Joe Brady brings because I think that'll alleviate. It might not. I'm just high on my own supply right now, but I think that'll alleviate a lot of the issues that you saw, which is not rooted in roster. It's not rooted in preparation. It's rooted in. It felt like the time of the game not having the counterpunch.
So I
And
guess my question,
roster is a problem
you go
too,
ahead.
and that was part of
Yeah.
it. But yeah, but
So
go
yeah.
ahead.
So I noticed that it was interesting that you basically promoted your offensive coordinator to head coach. I don't recall that happening too often in the NFL. Like usually when the head coach is fired, they don't just say, "All right, OC, you're up, you're the guy," unless it's like an interim
Yeah,
that performed well. But that wasn't a midseason fire. That was an after season fire. So you said like I noticed you said the changes to the offense. Are you implying that Joe Brady like could have had counter punches, but Sean McDermott wasn't allowing him to utilize the counter punches? Because what if so? What's going to change? My question
Or
is
is that a
like,
defensive thing? Like there was no defensive counter punches.
is that what you're
well,
saying? Like
it's
defense?
kind of no, it was more offensive. Let's be honest, because
Okay.
like
Yeah,
the
that's what because
games,
you kept saying Josh
but
could do it, and I was like, wait a second. Like Joe Brady
but
had control of the offense, right?
yeah. So my point was like the way the Bills had the structure. It and I guess the problem is it's all rooted in high level speculation, but the speculation is that it was more of a authoritative puppet master, Joe Brady, you run your offense, but don't stray too far from the plan kind of thing.
Okay,
Whether or
so
not
yeah,
that's completely true, we don't know. This was not a thing that came out conveniently after. This was something that we've been talking about for 2 years. Um, that it just feels like he wants this running team. He wants this like he wants to establish the run game. He wants to do this, that.
okay,
And he
yeah,
he, he
I see
said
that.
it he said it in press conferences many times, John McDermott. And it's like it almost always felt like Brady run my offense that I want, make it efficient, all of this because Josh threw a lot of interceptions before when we had the more wild style of deep crossers and whatnot. Um, but it was like let's completely reel that back. We want to be more conservative of a football team. Brady, here's what I want you to do. And it really felt like that a lot. And also with roster construction. Um, there was times where the Atlanta was a perfect example. We just could not counter the blitz. We had no counter, and nothing. It felt like the whole second half, not one adjustment was made. It was very disappointing. One of the more disappointing losses that sticks out. So I think I'd like to see Joe. You know what I like to think of it? I'm a New York Knicks fan too. Tibbs versus Mike Brown. I'm hoping that's kind of the reinvigoration that comes because Tibbs had his rotations and he would run them 40 minutes per game, no matter what. Now Mike Brown is out here going, all right, this isn't working. Let's get a new lineup in there. All right, let's get this doing. Let's do X's and O's.
Hmm. Okay.
Who do we need to throw out there to counter what the opponent's doing? And it's a lot more like methodical and reactive. And I think that's what I'm hoping Joe can bring because Joe did a lot of great things with the offense. I think he wants to add more explosives. He said it many times. So I'm looking forward to that.
So
I think, he wasn't my number one pick. I wanted Cliff. Not what's his name? Why am I
Mike
drawing a
McDaniel.
blank?
Mike McDaniel.
No, no,
What?
what the hell, Mike? I was okay with him, but he wasn't my number one choice. He was below Brady a little bit.
Who's
No,
the other
what's his
guy?
name that just went to Kubiak?
Oh,
Kubiak.
Klint
Mm.
Kubiak. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's
I said
interesting. So
Cliff Kubiak,
it
Clint
is
Kubiak. Yeah.
interesting that Joe Brady went from, if I remember correctly, that LSU offense, which is it Tanner? Is that where he kind of got his like kind of his start? Was that LSU Joe
Yeah, because he
Burrow
was he
offense?
was with Joe
Burrow,
Burrow.
Yeah,
Burrow.
and that
Yeah.
was a high flying. And look, they had Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and a lot of good receivers, but like he was a passing guy. Like that was the whole thing was the pass game. So him going to Buffalo and it's like James Cook, James Cook, James Cook. Like this is not what I thought a Joe Brady offense would look like. So maybe there is something to what you said. Like it's more of a, hey, you're going to run my Sean McDermott offense, keep it efficient. I know you can do it because you're a good offensive coordinator. But now that kind
Yeah.
of leadership is gone, he is the leadership. Maybe he can kind of, pull his own strings and kind of get Josh to hit that next level, even if that even is a thing for him. He's already said
I
it on
think
Twitter.
he has one, man. I really do. It sounds dumb because he's at the top. We know that. He's whatever order you want to put him, he's in the top five every year. I think he's got an extra gear that hasn't been touched yet, and it's the perfect blend between his last 2 years where he was very conservative with the ball more and efficient, and his, old Josh, this vintage like backbreaking. How did he just do that kind of, you know, throws into beams into double coverage that get through the coverage right into the receiver's hands that you're just like, how could he do that? Um,
I yeah.
I
So
think I think there is a little gear that he could a little step up.
they traded a second round pick for DJ Moore, and a lot of people kind of, I'm not gonna say clowned the Bills, but I remember there was a lot of initial like, "Whoa, did you guys overpay?" It's been a couple months since the trade. How do you feel about it? Do you think that was an overpay? Do you think that was? Do you expect DJ Moore to put up like Stephon Diggs numbers? Do you think he'll validate the price tag?
No, so there's two things I think is a problem with a lot of trade valuations nowadays. One, I think people overrate draft picks way too much, especially mid-round ones, because that's the first thing. Like if you're 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I know that's not the DJ Moore we're getting, but is it not? You know what I mean? Like if you gave a second round pick for DJ Moore 3 years ago, would anyone be batting an eyelash? And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, second round pick, whoa, like it's a bona fide starter. Like that's the first thing. Second, I'm an analytics guy. I like reading between the lines. I like seeing behind the scenes what's happening with DJ Moore. He had a down year, yeah. But if you look, you see, and you like the way I said that with the finger, you'll see the formations and the way he was being utilized is not traditionally the way he had been before.
Oh, you're
Um,
right. You're right.
and there was also rumblings of him and Caleb Williams just not melding. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a huge thing with a quarterback. But really, the utilization just completely flipped on him. I think he was more of I don't want to say a decoy, but more of he was kind of a decoy. In a lot of plays, I saw a lot of route concepts. He was being used on like maybe a hook or whatnot, and just to get Rome Odunze or whatever, however you pronounce it, open down the field or something. I saw a video in all 22 on it after we made the trade and this reaction came. Um, but DJ Moore is only, what is he? He's only like 29, 30, right? I mean,
29.
yeah, is it past when you'd like to get him? Yeah. But is he like just completely fell off a cliff in 1 year? No. I mean,
No, no.
I think I have modest, I think what I want from him is 1,200 yards, 70 catches, 60 to 70 catches, 1,200 yards, and 6 to 8 touchdowns. And if you look at the target distribution of the Buffalo Bills, he should get 120 to 130 targets if you use past as an indicator. taking away the people that we, don't have anymore, those targets, redistributing them, giving Shakir and Dalton Kincaid like targets as last year. He should get around 120 or more. I saw an analysis on that the other day on Twitter. And why would he not get, what did I say, 70 to 80 catches? And I think he could get 1,000 to 1,200 yards. That's what I would hope.
And I think that's second round value. Go ahead, Tanner.
I want to comment on the whole like we overvalue draft picks because I'm totally with you. I think everyone thinks that every pick's going to be Justin Jefferson when how many times are they actually Jalen Rager? And
Yeah,
so it's just an opportunity. Like we love the idea of what they could be, but we don't really have
yeah,
time to wait. Like Josh Allen, I mean, I'm not saying he's like on the back nine or anything, but there's only going to be so many prime years. I don't really want to waste it on seeing if Jalen Rager's the guy, hoping that he's
yeah.
going to be Justin Jefferson.
And we
So,
don't have that.
yeah, like let's just raise the floor and maybe pass on the opportunity of getting a guy cheap for just like really what you're hoping for is an elite player for cheap. We already know what DJ Moore is. Is he elite? Maybe not, but he's a top
Yeah,
20 wide receiver, and I feel pretty good, barring health. He's going to be a good player. And so, like, let's not really, like, waste time here. So I'm with you.
yeah. He's a brilliant route runner, and I think he does bring a lot of what Diggs had. Um, so I do almost see a fair comparison of late Bills Diggs
Mm-hmm.
or Houston and Patriots Diggs, right? Like I think that's a fair expectation, a little more than that actually. So I also want to mention that, by the way, Sky Moore talking about mid-round draft picks.
Well, and
Yeah,
I
no,
like how he
absolutely.
complements the
I
offense,
mean,
too.
sorry, Jesus, Skylar Bell, bro. My
Sky,
my head is
Sky,
like
no, Sky Moore might
I
be
I
PJ
said
Fleck
Cliff,
now.
I said Cliff Kubiak, and then I know Sky Moore. My head is like, for some reason, I'm in another world right now.
No,
S-
Skylar Bell.
Sorry,
Skylar Bell's
yeah,
legit. I'm
Skylar
actually
Bell. I don't
pretty
know.
excited for him.
No, no Sky Moore. No, please no. Skylar Bell, I think, is actually going to be seen as a really good. I don't know if you want to call it a steal, but kind of like Khalil Shakir, like a guy who's going to maybe get
Very,
600, 700 yards per year.
yeah, like he's
You know?
very similarly comp to him. Actually, I could see him really start feeling that Khalil Shakir. Because look, I don't know how much longer Khalil Shakir has on his contract. I know they signed an extension on him, but like,
Think
look, I
like,
mean,
yeah,
what's the worst thing they could do is just let Khalil Shakir go, and they have an extra one underneath. You know, another new slot guy to just pay real
yeah.
cheap.
And I think they did the right thing. I think screw the second round pick. And Bean did a good job getting those picks back. I do want to comment on that. There was an ultimate plan he had, which is why I do give him the benefit of the doubt a lot of times, instead of crucifying him like a lot of people did after the whole McDermott thing. There's a lot of times he's got a plan. I just criticize the hit rate of those picks. That's where I feel like he could do better. But when it comes to value, and we're even talking contracts, we're talking even look, even that Von Miller contract was not a bad one. It's just overblown, stupid reactions. It was not a bad one. Because look, we're not paying a dollar anymore, and he would have still been part. I'm just saying
It
he
was all
has a
funny
clause and
money.
everything. Exactly, he
It
does
was like
that,
2 years guaranteed, but the
and
back 4 years were.
yeah, and then the same we just did with Nick Chubb. Jesus, I'm Bradley Chubb. My God, I'm having a tough brain time right now. With names, I don't know why, and with draft picks especially, he just I swear to God, he goes to sleep reading the value chart, trade value chart, because he's like every trade he makes in the draft is perfect. I the dude is like chef's kiss in the mid to late rounds. I just wish he'd be better in the first round. That's all I gotta say. But um, I think he did a good job of hedging DJ Moore with the future with Skylar Bell, getting the number one guy you want and getting a little future prospect that can help down the road. I like what he did this offseason with wide receiver. So most Bills fans do like what he did with that.
Well, I like what he did, like complimenting the other receivers with DJ Moore because everyone else seems to be like kind of intermediate, middle of the field type guys. And I love the added bonus that DJ Moore. think he has a little bit more of a deep threat, more
Yeah.
dangerous with the ball in his hand. I mean, that makes
Yep.
me excited because Josh Allen's probably one of the better deep ball throwers in the league. And I heard something, his average depth of target last year was like 25th or 26th. And
Yep.
that's not because he's afraid to throw it downfield or he's not
No.
capable. It's
No.
100%. There was a limitation with the skill guys, and
It's,
like I do. I'm with you. I think people overblew the second round pick value aspect of it. What I didn't like though, didn't they guarantee like 2 additional years of his contract? That's where I'm like, ugh. Like
yeah, they
I didn't like
immediately,
that
yeah,
part of it.
that's fair. I think one of them though was guaranteed, but it was a very low amount. I think most of the guaranteed was on that second year. If I,
It may have been like
but
he guaranteed an extra year and a half or something.
yeah, so I don't remember it. When I saw the details, it looked like a on paper a good deal for us because I think that guaranteed was pushed into that like the first year they added. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
But the last year is like minimal guaranteed money, and they have a clause to move on. So with any bean contract, it's like a Rubik's cube with like terms and conditions, and that's in a good way. That's why I do think he's one of the better GMs when it comes to contracts. I just think the problem is we never get that final result, and it looks bad on him. And it's not even totally McDermott's fault. McDermott was a great coach. We always love him. We're always indebted to him turning us around. I remember watching the old Bills, and my God, did he do a great job with us. So we're always indebted to him. But there gets a point. What are the definition of madness? Keep doing the same thing over and over. Expect a different result. It's just at some point you just have to shake things up. And I think that's where you start. The roster obviously is going to get shaken up, but the coach is like the head of the snake. Is Brady going to be the guy? Is he going to be a Mike Brown that takes us to the championship game? I don't know. I really don't. But I think when I watch him with the players, I think he's very good with players. I think they really respect him a lot. And he talks to them on a different level. McDermott was more of a like their dad, like disappointed dad. And Joe Brady is more like um the cool uncle. But like that could also be backfiring. Eventually, we'll see. But I like that cool uncle vibe he gives. Like everyone's, he's kind of bros with everyone, and he knows everyone what's going on with their family. He's just. I think he's good for the locker room. Um,
Well, you
so
kind
we'll
of
see what
have to be
next
that
brings.
way. Like one guy's in
Yeah.
charge of your contract, and the other guy can easily just throw his hands up and say like, "That's not me. That's upstairs." You know, I actually have to deal with you every day. Like, how often does
Yeah.
does the GM actually deal with players? Maybe like a handful times a year, maybe. I don't
Probably when he
know.
has to fire, when he has to cut them.
Right.
Uh,
Extension
but
season.
no, yeah, and I mean, you know, at the end of the day, the guy is like you said, the guy talking to them every day. He's got to be the guy. He's got to be a good one with people. So
All right.
yeah.
So, I guess that's a lot of Bills talk.
Hmm.
So, Neil, what's your expectation for next year? I guess this is kind of like a segue into like the next team we're gonna
17-0 or 16-1.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you think?
18
What's
and 18 and -1.
Oh wow.
So look, it's the same. Every damn year you look and it's like, oh, the Bills have the hardest schedule ever, and we're gonna, you know, and every year we beat teams we shouldn't at the moment, right? Like the hottest teams, we'll cut them right in their tracks. And then we'll lose to like a two-win team inexplicably. I think that pattern's gonna repeat itself, and we're gonna end around 12 and 5. Looking at the schedule, I see a few. We're gonna split with the Patriots. They play us really hard. Even before this new success, they were always playing us really hard, splitting. I think we'll smack the Jets. I think we'll smack the Dolphins. I mean, we have to. If you don't, it's an embarrassment. You need to because that's a team you need to win against. And I see teams like, you know, the Chiefs, the ones we always play, the Ravens, the Rams. the Lions. This is a very grueling year. We got the NFC North. We got the Vikings. I can see 5 losses in there, but I can see 12 wins. And I think this year we'll get into the Pats. I think this year that's enough to take the division.
So let's move on to those New England Patriots because it had to be
Yes.
really freaking frustrating just seeing literally the easiest schedule in the history of the NFL be handed to a team and basically got them to I don't know, a high enough standing to where it was a cakewalk to the Super Bowl, honestly.
Well, that part was worse because, okay, you made the playoffs through a Mickey Mouse schedule. That's fine.
Yeah.
Which you did what you had to do. I respect you. You beat every team you were supposed to beat. We didn't. So that's where I'm like, I respect you, Patriots. You did what you're supposed to do. We didn't. You earned it. But then after that, man, what, God, if we can get that ever. I mean, we should have beat the Broncos, right? That was just a crazy game. But like the
Was it
Broncos
a
they
catch at
got,
the end?
am I biased? I think so, but look, Des hater over there shaking his head. Look, man, Des Bryant hater. That was a catch too, by the way. Um, the NFL doesn't know the catches, dude.
What?
And the problem with me is like you read one rule and it looks like, oh, that's easily a catch. But then like the second clause is like kind of gray and it's like, well, oh, hold on. And I can't stand that. I feel like the rules sometimes are a little bit, I guess there's always going to be gray when it comes to
It
physical
is.
things
That's
versus
the problem.
words. I get it, but do you, I don't know, the stakes of that moment, you, on one hand, do you overturn it? You could argue yes and no because of the stakes. Um, but I sure know that either way, we goofed it, we choked it. Josh Allen choked the first half. He did. I
To a
think the
ball,
second
yeah.
half, yeah, he choked. I mean, the first half he did stupid stuff. He regressed
Yeah.
back to like rookie Josh. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He doesn't know what the hell he was doing. So, but the thing about him, and I'll get back to the Patriots. I'm sorry, but you see how he rebounds. He marches down the field 2 times in 8 minutes and brings you back. That's why I will never call him trash and never say he choked. Because without him, you weren't even in the game at the end in the first
Of
place.
course. Yeah. It
But that
affected the
throws,
defense.
he
Yeah.
he had some throws he should have made at the end too. So yeah, but he had some great ones that he made, you know. But all I point is, if we got the Broncos, the Patriots did, we'd probably be in the Super Bowl.
Well, they didn't have
And
to play they didn't have to play their starter. I mean,
no,
their name was
it
already
was
known.
disgusting. Their road was just disgusting. You did what you had to do. I can't hate on what you did, but we can all be like salty that it was you who terrorized the league for freaking 20 years. You need to take your time in the basement. Spend more time in the basement. You earned it. You earned basement time. We all had to endure it. It's your turn. And now look what they get. It's like they get gifted another Super Bowl appearance.
Well,
And
right.
we all knew they'd get smacked. Come on.
It's interesting because they had the hallmark of a team with that typical second year quarterback jump. Where I mean, look, Drake May was in the MVP discussion. I mean, he was neck and neck with Matt Stafford for quite some time. And a lot of times you see that with young second year quarterbacks where the team just takes an immaculate jump and they surround their team with like a lot of veteran receivers like Stephon Diggs and
Yeah, so
utility
Josh.
running
Yeah.
backs. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. I mean, it happened with
Well,
Carson Wentz. It happened with Jalen Hurts. It happened with a
Kyler
lot of
Murray.
second year quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean Kyler Murray. Yeah, that's when they
we
really
don't say his name anymore.
that's when that's when the teams really make those jumps. But I feel like this was kind of like artificially inflated because he really did just get a schedule that was insanely easy. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he definitely made some improvements. I'm not going to say that Drake May was not an improved quarterback. I'm not even going to say that he was like not worthy of top 5 MVP discussion. I'm very interested to see what his season will look like this year. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Especially with
will he have AJ Brown? Will he not have AJ Brown? It looks like he will have AJ Brown.
will he have Coach Rossini? I don't know
A
because
lot of ifs and
what's
buts.
happening there? Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. We have
it's
been
hard.
talking about that a lot. That's funny.
It's hard not to compare both the Bills and the Patriots because I feel like in a nutshell, the best way to describe what happened last year was the Bills lost, whether it was a right call or not. It was still kind of a fluky decision, like to
Yeah.
Every
overrule that catch.
bro, every
But
time,
then the
every playoff.
Patriots don't have to play Bo Nix, and we're talking about a 14-3 team and a 12-5 team. So we're just talking 2 games, but like it's a little thing. Like the Bills were a worthy division champion. Like they were, if they had won, no one's going to look at them as like fraudulent. They just happened to be in that division.
Hmm.
But like if little
Yeah,
things don't happen with with the Patriots, like it wasn't just an easy schedule. It was literally historically the easiest schedule in like a
yeah,
quarter century. Like that's
yes,
not an opinion. That's a fact.
yeah,
And
It was so
so
easy that you could go down the schedule and literally see each coach's result. It was either, oh, week 1, this coach got
fired.
fired from this team. This
Yep.
coach
yeah,
fired. It's like, oh, the Jets, the Browns, fired, 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 fired. Jets, Browns, fired. So it's like every team that's not the Jets, the Giants, or the Browns, they fired their coach at the end of the year. So every team they played just had an abysmal season. So they were all train wrecks. So
And
it's
yeah,
insane.
lucky for them, they have the chance to prove everyone wrong and just like do it again.
Yeah.
But we're not wrong for being skeptical.
Very skeptical. And not only did they not win, were there not a lot of like one score magic like going on with the Patriots? Like they weren't blowing teams out if I remember correctly, right?
I mean, I don't
yes.
remember specific game results, but
There was a lot of close
they,
ones.
yeah.
They squeaked out a lot of a few, if I remember right, like almost five. Those one score slugfest, but with like two win teams. I
Oh
remember
yeah.
because I was watching at the end like, ah, come on, lose, lose. But they did squeak by some slugfest with some lesser teams. So did we, to be fair. I mean, who doesn't? But yes, that happened.
Hmm. So yeah, I'm noticing that their defense was really good with their points allowed, and that was something that you can talk about the offense all you want, but they really did have a really strong defense. And I think it was really hallmarked from Christian Gonzalez. Like you could argue, like he's probably asserted himself into the top 5 cornerback discussion. And if you don't, if you, I feel like if you take away like a defense like the Texans or so, like you probably look at one of the best defenses in the AFC. I mean, I don't know how the Bills' defense were like compared to the Patriots, but I mean, the Patriots probably have like at least a top 5 defense, at least from what I saw last year. But again, it's hard because just like how the Drake May ascension could be attributed to a bad schedule, could the defense have just been feasting on bad teams? So again, is it all fraudulent? I don't know.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, sorry, I was clicking around, my mic had some issues. At the end of the day, Drake is great. I actually like Drake. I did since day one. I was on his college train even
Right.
because he's got a lot of that Justin Herbert in him, man. And that like dead to rights, find a way to zip the ball in a tight window kind of way. And sorry if it's a little noisy in the background. I need to get my mic back on.
Mm-hmm.
But he did what he had to do. He put away business at the end of the day. I think this year, I know this personally because we're number one seed every year. They're gonna get the gauntlet, and it's not gonna be cupcakes anymore. This is hard. We somehow got unlucky again and got the Ravens again. I don't know why that has to happen, but we got blessed with the hardest teams again. But they're gonna be placing one seeds now, as opposed to 3 and 4 like they were before when the Dolphins were number two. And I think he's really good. I think he's got a lot of that in him, but I also saw a lot of games where he was exposed, where a certain thing really flusters him so bad that he can't process what's happening. He sees ghosts, as Darnold will put it. So I think this step up, he's gonna regress a little bit for sure. He's
I mean,
gonna regress.
I was just looking at their schedule. I mean, I saw Chargers, Lions, Bears.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
he's
Oh
gonna
my!
he's
I'm
he's gonna
seeing a ton.
regress.
I'm seeing a
Yeah,
ton of good teams. Jaguars on their team on their schedule this year. It's not an easy schedule. Like we're gonna see really, and the Seahawks obviously week 1 to Super Bowl rematch. So we're gonna see really early on if this team actually is as good as they thought they were last year. So with the addition of AJ Brown again, I don't know if this is they keep saying it's going to happen. We don't know for what compensation.
A third.
No, it's going to be a first and some even. I think so. I will be. But I don't know. Do you think AJ Brown moves the needle in the AFC East? Gut feeling. Tanner, what do you think? Does AJ Brown move the needle? Yes or no?
If I was a Patriots fan, I'd be excited.
But does that move the needle for the AFC East?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, am I still picking the Bills? I mean, yeah. But if we're doing a probability, maybe it goes from 70% Bills, 30% Patriots to 60-40, 55-45. I definitely feel a lot better about it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it moves the needle a little bit to 55% for the Bills or the Patriots, but I don't know. But I just think the Bills are a much better team.
I mean, I think it's fair to say is it enough? But it does move the needle.
Yeah, I mean I think we talked enough about the schedule and Drake May and the Bills and all that stuff. Let's talk about the other two teams because, frankly, we could go on and on about those two teams until the cows come home because really it is just a circular conversation. It's, the Bills got J.A., Josh Allen. I always say J.A. The Bills have – we always text J.A. The Bills have Josh Allen, and the Patriots had Drake May in that really crazy schedule. We could just keep going back and forth with that until the end of time. So we won't know until the season starts which one actually is, going to come to fruition in terms of, is the – Patriots schedule going to smack them back in the face and bring them back down to 500, or Josh Allen's ability is just going to take the division again. So let's move on to the Jets, which shockingly, Tanner, I don't foresee to be the worst team in this division. What world is this? And you know what the funny thing is? That's not even saying much about the Jets. like this isn't a big compliment. It's just saying how bad the Dolphins are. But yeah. So last year the Jets were really cool. Because I always root for weird NFL records, and shockingly, in the history of the National Football League, look, quarterback play, especially way in the past, has always been really bad. The further back you look, the worse the quarterbacks get. You start seeing guys with 20 interceptions regularly. Look, if a guy threw 20 plus interceptions this year, it'd be oh my God, what's he doing? Back then, that was commonplace. But the Jets did something on defense that has never been done, and that's have a defense where they did not record an interception. That's insane. That's never happened before. So that is kind of and you know what the funny thing is? The Jets defense was awful, and their offense may have been just as bad. What do you remember from last year's Jets team, Tanner?
Well, I think the one thing that stands out to me from last year was probably the Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams trade. They weren't doing too hot. It was right around the trade deadline, whatever they 1-7, whatever it was.
They got some good draft picks.
And they traded them within an hour or so each. And these weren't small trades.
No, they netted first
rounders here. You get a first and a second there. It was clearly a we're waving the white flag moment, saying we're not making this decision for the short term. This is a long term move.
And early
two guys who were great at their positions too. I'd say Sauce was probably top 5 corner, maybe still. I don't know.
I
feel like he's come off a bit.
A lot of people kind of have noticed he's not the same as he used to be.
He was probably the best.
He was.
Yeah.
The compensation was really good. And I wonder if it was due to just the market, the corner market, what is a good corner worth? Maybe there's some, I don't know, some building value there.
Well, remember, the Colts were 7-1 at the time, and they, I think, internally thought they could compete for a Super Bowl. So this wasn't supposed to be the 16th overall pick. It was supposed to be pick 25 or later.
Mm-hmm. And
so that went into the calculation.
If I remember correctly, he didn't have the greatest year in Indy, and then he got hurt. I think he almost went winless. What's funny is
uh, he went from almost the winless Jets to essentially not. I don't think he won a game with the Colts.
Yeah, yeah. So it was honestly like the biggest like unlucky trade that the Colts could
He
have
was a
possibly
big loser.
pulled off. And then a couple days later, Daniel Jones like tears his Achilles. A couple weeks later, it's honestly it was so unlucky to see how the Colts season like finished down the stretch. But this is not the Colts pod. This is the Jets pod. So yeah, those two defenders got a lot back in return for the trade. They tried to make Justin Fields work as if like I feel like every team tries to make Justin Fields work at some point, and they gave him a 2-year deal. They gave him a couple games. The first game looked amazing. He was matching, Aaron Rodgers blow for blow against the Steelers on his new team. And, this game like went into the 30s for both teams. And the Jets barely lost, but I left that game. And, I have Justin Fields on my fantasy team. I left that game thinking, maybe we got something here for this Jets offense. And that was the high mark of their season. Like, that's not good when week 1 is the high mark of your season on offense. Because, man, there were parts of the year where, like, they were struggling to get over 100 yards of offense. They were struggling to complete, 10 passes a game. Like, it was awful. Like, their offense just tanked towards the end of the year where they couldn't get anything going. Justin Fields specifically just regressed into just a shell of whatever form of him that was effective on the Bears, like whatever form that is, was gone. Like the elusive runner, the efficient passer, even that Steelers era he was on, he was kind of iffy for a little bit. It's so funny about that game because the Jets and the Steelers, didn't they actually switch quarterbacks as Fields was on the Steelers and Rodgers was on the Jets? But yeah, their offense absolutely went downhill, and their defense was terrible. And didn't Aaron Glenn stay? He didn't get fired, did he?
No, he's got one more year until he gets fired.
That's great. Were you
I think what they
surprised that
want to
he didn't?
do, no, because I think everything's built for the 2026. No, excuse me, the 2027 season. So, do you really want to hire a new coach this year, and then, like, I think you want to start 2027 with a coach who knows exactly like what he's coming into.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be more desirable. Like in that case, I think they'll be more desirable too, just because you'll know exactly like what you're walking into. Yeah, they have 3 first-round picks, and we probably don't anticipate them being too good, but nothing's guaranteed. You don't have a definitive like top 2 pick where you're going to get one of the 2 quarterbacks or whatever the draft looks like. But he feels like a dead man walking though. It's like, okay, what week do we think he's going to get fired?
Yeah, and it really does scream just, stopgap year for Geno Smith. Like they are literally just
Oh,
riding
100%.
him out just to get, I don't know, enough wins to get people in the seats. Maybe those first round picks net them enough to go up and get that top quarterback in the draft. And it does seem to be a pretty deep quarterback class. So hopefully they're able to find a guy and then pair him with a coach that's brand new. So that could work. Kind of like the whole Mark Sanchez, Rex Ryan when they both kind of came in together type of thing, but maybe a little bit more success this time
I
around.
like the Geno move actually. I mean, it was minimal cost. It was just swapping a 6th-round pick for a 7th. You still have to pick up most of his very little bit actually of his contract. So he's actually super cheap. But I think it raises the floor enough, and this is similar to the Cardinals situation. I still want to be able to evaluate other guys, especially the young guys on the roster, whether it's Garrett Wilson, whether it's Kenyon Sadiq, Omar Cooper Jr. Like there's a couple of guys you still want to evaluate and still continue to develop. I'm not sure you could do that with Justin Fields. Like you were saying before, last year was clearly the worst version of whatever Justin Fields is. He wasn't that bad with the Bears, I don't think. At least he showed some promise. And then even with the Steelers, may not have been amazing, but I think he was competent enough and he had enough around him. I think they still went 4-2 with him.
He was pretty efficient. They kept
Yeah.
him within his realm of what he could do, and I don't think the Jets were able to support him that way.
And is that really what it like? We make the argument, was Tom Brady always going to be Tom Brady? if he wasn't with the Patriots. I don't know. If he got drafted by the Browns, does he really still win 6 Super Bowls? Or no, 7. Whatever it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know he actually does that. So, yeah, I mean, just given the stark difference, I mean, he didn't suffer some major injury that you could see, like, oh, there it shows on the field. I don't know. It might just be the difference of what it looks like to have, a competent roster around you. Um, I am a little, interested to see if he does get any playing time in Kansas City, what Andy Reid could do with him, but we'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, it does. Those rookies you mentioned, Omar Cooper, Kenyon Sadiq, David Bailey. I guess we mentioned on the defense. They're pretty interesting players. I mean, I really do think that like with Sadiq, you're talking about one of the top playmakers in the draft. Omar Cooper, again, very good with the ball in his hands. David Bailey, potentially the best edge rusher in the draft. So, I mean, look, if you hit on like 2 out of 3 of those dudes, or maybe even all 3 of them, you're looking at a stellar draft class. And we're not even talking about anything beyond the first round. I'm sure they could have had like some sort of hit later on, but I don't know. It's really cool to see a team really building for the future, and they still have ammunition later on into next year's draft too. So like, they could get good quick if these draft picks hit.
I'd be kind of excited if I was a Jets fan because the expectations are low, but you got pieces on offense that are going
Yeah.
to be really exciting to watch. Yeah,
On
you
top of
got the
Garrett
one
Wilson,
big
by the
piece.
way, Garrett Wilson's like a top 10 receiver.
Right, he's great, and I'm excited to see what adding a tight end and another receiver in the draft in the first round is going to like. What could that do for him? Is that going to open up more coverage space, for him to get open? And I don't know. I think Gino's enough of a gunslinger. I mean, I think he's just as capable of throwing 4 interceptions as he is for throwing for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
So you'll definitely get, like you'll get
opportunities.
the opportunities to
Yeah.
see. And I think that's really that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure you get that in Arizona. Again, I'm not trying to make everything about Arizona, but there's a lot of parallels between where the Jets and the Cardinals are as far as like what this season's supposed to be. Um, Overall, like I would be kind of excited because it's not just the young talent that they have this year; it's the ammunition they have next year with the three
Yeah.
first-round picks. Do they need to package them for a quarterback? Maybe, I don't know. But if they don't, and you're able to just take a quarterback with that first pick and then continue to build, likely on defense, given how their roster is constructed, they got a pretty good offensive line, which is kind of interesting, given that they went 3-14 last year. Like a team usually that bad doesn't have this decent of an offensive line. They got the skill position, they got a gunslinger at quarterback. Again, I'm not really expecting him to maybe make the playoffs, but the offense in a way is kind of set. You just got to answer the quarterback and keep stacking up on defense.
And that kind of makes me wonder how many wins can they get? And the problem with this is there's another team in this division, which I feel like is a good segue, which might just be like the punching bag of this division and may give everyone else just a free 2 wins because of what's going on down in South Beach in Miami. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but transitioning to the Miami Dolphins, they completely blew up their team. Like they went ahead and took anyone who had value, sold them down the road, took whatever they could for them, or just cut them. They got rid of their, well, used to be franchise quarterback Tua. He is now in Atlanta. They traded off Jalen Waddle, their speedster wide receiver complement to Tyreek Hill. He is now in Denver. What did they get for him again? First?
It was like a 1, a 3, and a 4.
Wow, pretty good. And they've centered their entire offseason on 2 decisions. One, going after Malik Willis, which was like the late, hot, like free agent darling that kind of like took the league by storm by playing 2 good games of football at the end of the year. Honestly, I think 1 good game of football at the end of the year for the Packers. And all of a sudden now he was like on the top like free agent list of like all these websites, like the top available free agents. Well, they signed him, and he's now their starter. Malik Willis was the I guess could you call him a journeyman? I mean, like was he a high draft pick for the Titans? I don't was he? I don't know.
Wait, who was this?
Malik Willis wasn't he like a third, fourth round pick?
He was a third, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he was on the Titans and he went to the Packers and he's got some tools. He's never really put it together in the NFL, but now he's going to get a chance to start for the Dolphins. Is this going to be a situation where the Dolphins are just trying to find like someone to kind of like Geno Smith, kind of bridge the gap to the next guy? Malik Willis might be a little young to be like just considered a stopgap guy. I mean, I feel like there is some potential there for him to be long term if he has some success. And then the second decision they made was the fact that they decided to spend their resources on extending running back Devon Achane or Etienne. Achane. I'm calling him Achane. I don't know. I haven't heard it on Fox yet, so I don't know how to actually say it. But right now, I'm going to call him Achane. And he's a great player, like fantasy stud, like incredibly fast running back, probably a top 5 running back in the league pretty easily, I think. I think that would be pretty easy to kind of make that claim. Problem is, I can see he'd have some durability concerns, and he's a running back, and they just extended him for like at least a 3-year contract extension. Do we really see him to be someone who's going to be around for the next winning window of Miami Dolphins football, or is this just a ticket grab move? What do you think?
I actually don't really understand what the Dolphins are doing. It's not that I have a problem with tearing it down to build it back up. It's not that I have a problem with taking a shot at Malik Willis. It's not even that I have a problem with trading Jalen Waddle or even signing Devon Achane, to a deal. But it's like the combination of them all, they don't actually make sense. It's like you're making some win now moves and you're also making some long-term moves, and that it just doesn't seem to coincide. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. You tell me, what's the point of Malik Willis? If you're not going to give him a chance, what's the point? I don't get it.
I mean, they're giving him a pretty decent sized contract. I mean, it is like starting
It's like
quarterback.
20, it's like 22 and a half a year. That's not even like middle of the road. And
No.
so maybe that's the argument. To me, middle of the road's in that 30 range. I don't know. I like Devon Achane, but like you said, is he going to be on the next good Dolphins team?
He's not. There's no way.
That's going to require a pretty quick turnaround, in my opinion, just given the shelf life of running backs.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he makes a team better. I just don't really – I don't really see that being the best, resource allocation, in my opinion. I'm with you there.
They could have gotten – what do you think the market would have been for a trade for Devon Achane on the open market? Do running backs even go – do running backs even get traded for? I can't think of it.
Unless your running back is Josh Jacobs and you're not sure what his future is, that maybe you look at a team that maybe has some running back depth, like the Cardinals. Again, I know it's the Cardinals, but maybe you trade. What in the world would the Cardinals get for James Conner? Like, we don't really make big trades for running backs, do we?
Well, that's what I was.
The last one I can think of is Christian McCaffrey.
Because the way I was thinking is like, is the ticket prices worth what they could have gotten back in a trade for Achane? If you're gonna blow it up, just blow it up. And Achane's probably
got what, 17 a year APY?
Yeah, like Waddle's probably
that's pretty good. That's a wide receiver too.
Waddle's pretty easily the more like positional valuable player, even though he might not be as good a receiver as Achane is running back. Receiver is a more valuable position than running back. So would Achane net a first? Probably not. So ownership might be sitting here thinking, look, I'm not getting rid of my only marketable player for less than a first round pick. So maybe I should just sign him, get the ticket prices, allow teams to come in here and, allow the fans to get excited about this player. Maybe he'll just bolster our bottom line until the next winning team comes around. Then we can just get rid of him. That's a sad plan, but it sounds like the plan.
Who says no if they offer a third, if someone offers a third?
I think the owner.
To the Dolphins.
Well, the owner specifically. No? The owner.
Who says no for a second?
The owner.
Really? We keep bringing up the owner. I'm saying, like, if
no one else on that team that interests anyone to go see. I think the owner's terrified that if Achan goes, the jersey sales go, the ticket price admission go, the concessions go.
I guess my argument is it not already gone?
Well, whatever is left of it would be out the door. I mean, is there any like you have to hold on to it? Look, why would they sign him if not for just we're gonna make sure he's here to promote? I'm trying to figure out a reason why they would even do it. That's my only reason I can come up with. It's a promotional thing. It's not a team building thing. You just described it. He's not going to be around for the next good Miami Dolphins team. So there's something else. It's promotion. I don't know. So again, this team is terrible. I mean, their defense is bad too. They let go a lot of players. I mean, the Eagles got Jalen Phillips from them. Ramsey's been gone. Waddle's gone. There's not a lot of great. I heard that Greg Dulcich is their number one receiver in OTAs right now, the tight end. Again, on my fantasy team, really excited about that. Jalen Tolbert is their wide receiver two. Tutu Atwell's on their team. Like they are bereft of talent. Like they are so bad. They might make a run for 0-16 if or 0-17 if Malik Willis can kind of like I don't know win them a few games here or there. I feel like that'd be a good season for the Dolphins. Is that kind of where you're at with them?
Honestly, again, if I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm patient. I think 2 wins or less is better than 5 wins. I really don't know what 5 wins does for you. I mean, but then again, they're in a different situation because they did sign Malik Willis. So you could argue that's not their top concern. I don't know. I mean, until I see it, I'm going to kind of feel like there's a lot of room for improvement at quarterback until I see it.
I have a hard time finding those 5 wins for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I just
No, I'm with you. That roster doesn't look too. I mean, we did the schedule breakdown with the Cardinals. We struggled. Did we get 3 wins? I don't remember. I'm not even sure. Like, might not
I
even
think
have
it was
been that
3.
much.
I mean, there's a chance. Their only chance for 5 wins is if Malik Willis is average to like maybe like a C- quarterback, and Achan has like another 1,200-yard season. And I also wonder with Waddle gone, like what's stopping defenders from just going 8 in the box. Like Waddle's like threat over the top, his speed had to have helped Achan and Mike McDaniel. By the way, they lost. We didn't mention this. They lost their like wunderkind offensive coordinator / head coach mastermind Mike McDaniel. He's gone too. So like, yeah, the Packers defensive coordinator is now their head coach. Seems like a great leader of men type guy. But the Dolphins benefited a lot from that great scheme that McDaniel had. I don't know what they're going to run now. So, like, who knows if it's going to even benefit Achan. And now without Waddle on top, taking the top off the defense and that being somewhere else, back out in Denver, Achan might not even be that effective. I mean, he's still ultra talented, but there's a strong chance he's pretty bottled up this year.
Yeah, I mean, running backs only have so many carries in them, and so I hate to waste them on a year that just doesn't really seem to matter. So there's only, and I like him too as a talent as well, but there's only so much I think he can overcome.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and since we've hit off all 4 of our teams, let's do our quick bold prediction of the year for the AFC East. I got mine. And I kind of alluded to it earlier with the whole A.J. Brown not moving the needle thing. But again, we're coming close to June 1st or whenever it's going to happen, whenever the trade is going to go down. But it will go down. Despite recent reports,
Maybe.
like, oh, the Patriots are holding firm on not giving up a first-round pick. Get out of there. It's happening.
Well, when? Do you think it'll happen June 1st, June 2nd? Or you think there's a chance that they could
I think
hold
it'll
out?
happen June 1st in the afternoon, like probably like 4 or 5 o'clock. I think A.J. Brown will be on the Patriots. However, I think he will have less than 700 receiving yards and less than 5 touchdowns this year.
Assuming he's healthy for the whole year?
What?
So did he get hurt in week 9?
He disappeared on the Eagles for large stretches to the point to where he was getting held to under 40 yards a game, 30 yards a game, a couple catches. You could argue that it was Jalen Hurts and his chemistry just not working together very well. But he hit 1,000 yards through sheer will of just being force fed the ball. I think there was a lot of bloat to that 1,000 yard season last year. Just a lot of like, hey, I'm not getting the ball, give me the ball, almost to the detriment of the offense. And I don't know if that was like an actually good representation of how he's playing right now as a football player. I really do think that Drake May is a quarterback, and I think Drake May is a good quarterback, but I do think he spreads the ball around. I watched him and Stephon Diggs last year pretty much the entire season. He didn't like rely on Stephon Diggs as like the alpha blanket receiver he can throw to. He threw to whoever was open. And I just think that that's the mantra that he's going to have next year. If AJ Brown's open, he'll get the ball. And despite his like tag, always open, he ain't always open. He relies on a lot of jump balls. He relies on a lot of body catches. He relies on a lot of boxing out and kind of getting body positioning. I don't think Drake May likes to play that way. I think he wants to find the open guy, and I think that'll lead him away from AJ Brown more often than not. So yeah, it might be bold, but I can totally see them being held under 700 yards.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a little harsh. I know it's supposed to be a bold prediction, and wouldn't be bold if it wasn't bold, I guess. But sure, you're using Stephon Diggs as that. We'll see. Like he didn't really spam him in the way that we're used to seeing. I don't think it's also the same Stephon Diggs that we're used to.
No, it's the same AJ Brown.
I think you're going to get a really good version of AJ Brown. Why?
Why?
I think he's going to be motivated and happy to be in a new environment where he's probably more valued. I mean, if the Patriots are trading what you're saying, premium like draft capital for a first, a third, 5 more first, and a couple, whatever. Like, you think they're just going to like not throw him the ball? Like,
I think Drake May will find the open receiver.
I think he will find the guy that they just fully endorsed, as evidence of the draft capital that they may or may not give to him. I think if they're giving Yahoo or John approved draft capital, I'm pretty sure he's going to get 120 targets plus, barring health.
See, now that's my argument with DJ Brown, but I'm not using it. So
about with who?
With not DJ Brown, DJ Moore. That's my argument with DJ Moore, but I'm not.
Yeah, but they gave even less draft capital.
I know. Well, see, they wouldn't listen. The Bills wouldn't give up a second round pick and not throw for over 1,000 yards with him. But anyway, AJ Brown is not getting 700 yards and less than 5 touchdowns. What's your bold prediction for the AFC East, Tanner?
My bold prediction is that, and I consider it bold, I think that the Jets could be better than most people think. I'm actually really excited about watching this offense. I think they got a lot of good young skill players. Some that they already had, some that they got in the draft. I think the offense is going to be pretty good. I think they could be pushing 8 to 9 wins this year.
So that's your number.
Like, okay, like sure, wow, they're going to just miss the playoffs. How bold is that? I mean, that would triple their win total, to be fair. It'd also be interesting to see what they do at quarterback then, because even in this scenario, like that means they probably did pretty well on offense, but Geno's not the long-term guy.
Oh, no.
What are they going to do? Are they going to move? Are we going to use all them first-round picks and move up to get someone, or are they going to be too far back? Because the picks that they own are the Packers and the Cowboys. I'm sorry, Packers and the Colts.
It would almost be like a perfect Jets curse that like they're too good to get the top guy. Like the year they're supposed to.
Like it's not. Yeah, given my prediction, it's not the craziest idea that their top pick is what 14th. Like that's a long ways to go if you want to go up to in the top 3.
You ain't getting Dante Moore at 14, buddy.
No, you're not. Or something went terribly wrong at Oregon.
Yeah,
So
prepare to learn Drew Mastamaker or whatever the heck his name is. Remember that guy from Texas or whatever? He's pretty good though. I don't know, but yeah. So I'm excited you made that pick. I'm excited you made that bold prediction. That's gonna be something fun to watch this year. Might actually work well with our maybe a parlay later on in the summer. Maybe we can parlay some of these over under win totals. Might need to hold on to that one. Might be fun. Might we get a good odds number on that one. See what their odds number is for 8+ wins. That might be plus money. It might be plus 500, plus 600, 1100.
exactly.
All right, I love it. I love it. We're gonna make some money this summer. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our extra point.
The extra point.
All right, my extra point for today's episode is, as you can tell by me like kind of doing the whole like off-camera coughing thing, I have had a cough basically since last pod. It's been terrible. I'm sick of it. I got it from basically my wife, who got it from one of her students, and now it's passed on to me, and it's gnarly and it won't leave, and I just can't stop coughing. I've taken Dayquil. I've taken so many different cough medicines, and I have to say that my extra point is that in the year 2020 freaking 6, why in the world does cough medicine still taste like vomit? Like every single time, like as a kid, as a young child, our first exposure to disgusting flavors, the veggies, ooh, I don't want to eat broccoli, this is gross, onions, yuck. Cough medicine is like a universal experience of disgusting. But unlike onions and broccoli and things that you kind of grow to enjoy as you become an adult, some people don't. Some people remain children. But, cough medicine, it doesn't go away. It's always bitter. It's always terrible. I had Dayquil the other day, or at least a Dayquil knockoff. It was honey flavored. Honey, like the sweetest thing on planet Earth. I've never eaten something so sweet yet bitter at the same time. It was truly the most bittersweet thing I'd ever consumed in my life. It was like two tones going at the like two things happening at the exact same time. It was awful. It was absolutely awful, and it sticks in your throat, and it never goes away. You have to drink a ton of water just to get it down. It's disgusting. I don't understand. We're in a world where we have so many things that taste in so many different ways. Like you can have, I don't know, you can have like buffalo wing flavored Cheez-Its and vape that smells like, licorice and fruity pebbles. And they can make flavors out of anything and make anything taste like anything. You can have a little powder in your water and make it taste like popcorn. Why? Like the jelly bean, like the Bean Boozled. Like, come on. Like I can go on and on about like, flavors being put into things. But somehow cough medicine still tastes like garbage. And I hate it because I'm looking at it. It's like a shot glass, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. And you drink it, and look, is it a little bit of a wimp for me to do this? Like, yeah, just damn the freaking medicine, John. Just drink it. But no, I shouldn't have to worry about this. We are in the year 2026. We can make things taste like whatever we want. Why is this behind? Is it because like it's got like alcohol in it, kind of like low dosages, so you don't want to have like people drink it at high amounts? I think that's it. But at the same time, I've had alcohol that tastes nothing like alcohol. I've had alcohol that tastes like cereal milk. I've had it taste like chocolate. So don't tell me that like, oh, it's been make people not like drink it when you have alcohol that literally tastes like candy. So like I don't like it. I hate it. Gross. Yuck. That's all I got.
I mean, it is actually a really interesting point at the end because we even do stuff with tobacco and whatnot, which is not, good for you.
No,
But
they're
we
not
have
doing
like
anything healthy for
Fruity
anyone.
Pebbles, vapes. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? We're trying to encourage people to, to smoke here. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's why I'm a little hesitant to think that that's the reason why we don't make medicine taste good. But here's a weird, like, I'm just wired weird, I guess. There's something about like, if I were to just, like take a shot of cough medicine, doesn't it, to me, it almost like feels like it's more effective if it's bad because the only reason why you're taking it is not because it tastes good, but because it's effective. So that, I don't know. I mean, that probably sounds crazy, but I think your bigger crime is probably that you chose honey. I wouldn't have been I feel like cherry's kind of the mainstream
No, well,
flavor.
that is the main cherry's main is the main flavor, and I really have a disdain for that cherry flavor. I chose honey because the cough drops, the honey and lemon cough drops, those are actually those are my favorite. I actually love those flavors. I think they work
I
well.
would do it with the cough drop, but with cough medicine, I don't know why I wouldn't choose honey.
Yeah,
I don't know why that is.
I thought the same. Well, I thought the opposite. I thought, well, if the cough drops taste good, then why wouldn't the cough medicine taste good? Because the cough drops actually have, because some of them, sometimes those cherry cough drops kind of taste like crap too. And so I was like, what if the cherry cough drops taste like crap and the cherry medicine tastes like crap? Then maybe it lines up with the cough drops and the medicine. I don't know. I could go on this rabbit hole forever about medicines. I obviously think it's just to prevent people from just like drinking a ton of it because you can get like really really messed up if you drink enough cough syrup. But like I don't know, they haven't shown restraint in other areas to make things taste bitter. I don't know. I just want this cough to go away. I'm sick of taking cough medicine every night. I'm trying to get a good night's sleep. I'm sick of coughing. Tanner,
Well,
what's your point?
you're a teacher, so you just need to accept it. You will always be around sick kids.
Dude, here's the crazy part, right? I haven't gotten sick in years.
Oh,
Years.
really?
No, like I developed such a good immune system. Whatever this is strong. Because like my immune system is like a freaking lock, dude. Like nothing gets in, nothing unlocks this immune system. Like I've been around so many sick kids in my entire career that like I don't know. I could go lick a floor and probably be fine. But like yeah, but that's why I was so shocked when like this got me. I was like, oh really? Like right before EOGs, right before the summer starts. Like this is ridiculous. And just hanging around. It's gross. I have to cough on the pod. Ugh, whatever. All right, what's yours?
So mine, I'm stealing from a segment that I saw on Barstool. They were going around the office and they were asking people, is the Major League Baseball logo a left or a right-handed batter?
Wait.
So let me actually share with you what I'm looking at. What do you think?
All right,
I
well,
have my initial thought.
I see a lefty because it looks like he's kind of facing it, like, and it looks like it's.
I see a righty.
What? Wait,
But
no.
it's not necessarily, I mean, I don't think it's, but when I heard, it was about 50-50 that I heard on this video. And I was like,
Huh.
well, I could see either.
Oh. Whoa. Okay, I do kind of see. So it's like his shoulder, like it's a shoulder from behind. Oh, okay. So instead of it, wow.
But
That's
honestly, now that
crazy.
I think about it more, I think I almost see a lefty more.
Why? Why? I wonder what. This isn't like modeled after someone, right? Like, is this just like a caricature? I mean, that's a really pointy nose. I mean, wait a second. Wait, is it me? No.
Let's
I
see
guess it
what I
isn't.
got.
Is it modeled after someone?
The MLB logo features an intentionally ambiguous silhouette. Depending on your perspective, the batter can be seen as either right-handed or left-handed. That's super
Whoa.
interesting because when I think about the NBA, they have Jerry West. They say he is the logo, which by the way, that's cool. I would
That
love
is
to be
pretty
the logo
cool.
of a sport. And he's not, I mean, no one says Jerry West is the best. So it's kind of interesting that they did choose him. But I mean, especially now, if they didn't have one, wouldn't it be like the Air Jordan logo? But
Oh, it would
anyways,
have to be. Yeah.
uh, the NFL, they're just a shield that says NFL
Boring.
on it, right?
Yeah.
They don't have any kind of player or silhouette
I
of
mean,
anyone.
it's iconic, but it is boring.
It's probably the most boring, I would think. Same
Well,
with the NHL. I don't even know what theirs is.
I remember when the NFL had like all the stars on it, and they dropped it down to like 4. Like they shrunk it.
Oh, that's even worse. That's the
How do you know?
NHL logo.
What is that even supposed to be, like a badge, a shield? I don't even know.
It looks like a shield. Yeah, I would say it looks like a shield.
Hmm. Well, yeah, MLB definitely wins on creativity points. Yeah, you see right
Yeah,
now.
no, I love the idea that it could literally it's whatever your interpretation is of it.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
yeah.
It was interesting. It was something I never really thought about, but once I did think about it, I was like, oh wow, it really could be both.
Hmm. Well, how about that? These extra points are teaching us a little bit of something this week.
It's a
Well, I
big
don't know.
nose though.
I didn't teach anyone anything with my extra point. At least you taught something to someone. I didn't do anything. I just complained about cough medicine. But you know what? If I can do anything, I can complain. That's kind of my thing. So, all right. So this was a fun first episode. We really want to thank you guys for joining us, and we want to thank Neil for being our correspondent for the AFC East. It was really fun to have him on. I'm really excited to have a lot of other people on. We're going to do our best to try to find a correspondent for each division and bring them on to kind of be the expert to kind of see that division through their eyes. Because we really do believe, like we mentioned in the beginning, that the best way to really tell our audience about a division and a team is to hear it from the perspective of the fans, the people who live and die with those teams every single week. The national media is great for casting a wide and broad net, but let's be honest, there's no way they can watch all these games and pay attention to all these storylines and still have enough time in the day to like actually function as a human being. But that's where we come in. We're the fans who listen to WIP every single day, who listen to Arizona Sports Radio every single day, who listens to whoever sports radio we're going to bring on to for whatever division every single day. There's so many storylines that just don't get picked up by the national media. And that's where you really find the heart of these teams and where their storylines are going to take us through the offseason. So we're going to look really hard to find a division or rep for each division. And if not, hey, we're going to do our best to do our part to kind of fill in the gaps where we can. So, Tanner, are you excited for this? I guess it'll be 7-week journey at this point because at this point it's already done with the first one. Are you excited for this?
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was awesome. I felt pretty good about doing this, and I think today really solidified that excitement. We'll see where we go going forward. We don't quite have like an exact schedule. We're still trying to line up potential guests, so we don't have an exact order. Maybe we'll have someone next week, maybe we won't. But we'll just kind of, see, go day by day, week by week, and see where we end up.
Really depends on the schedules of the people we talk to. Some of these people are
Yeah.
in our inner circle. Some of the people we might have to go reach back out to. Some of these people might have to flag on the side of the road. Might have to hold up some signs like some beggars and say like, "Will you pod for food?" But no, we're going to be working the wires, trying to get some experts on here. And if you know anyone, look, if you're a listener and you want to come out and say, "Hey, I'll do this division," like, hey, reach out to us. I mean, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube Shorts. We're on our YouTube page. I mean, like we mentioned before, all the comments, all the likes help. Like we mentioned before, we hit our 1,000 view mark on one of our short forms. We're trying to do that once a week. Really excited, and to kind of bring that to you guys, it gets more eyeballs on us. So really excited to have you guys pay attention to us and join in the conversation. And this 8-week series should take us into, or at least at the beginning of training camp. And we're going to schedule our times to where the NFC East and NFC West are obviously, our teams will be the last two. So that way, all the pertinent information leading into camp will be covered, and we can really have a really up-to-date kind of compendium. That's a new word, compendium of information leading into.
You're gonna have to explain that one to me.
I learned that word earlier this school year from one of my coworkers. She just casually dropped it, and I said, "Wait a second, that's a big word. You just can't use that word and not explain it." Compendium means like a comprehensive book of information, like a source of information. Did not know what that meant, but we're going to make sure that we have a nice compendium of information for our listeners, for our teams, for the last 2 of these weeks, because that way we'll have a full picture heading into training camp. Because who knows what'll change? I mean, we might not have a wide receiver 1 in 7 days. The Cardinals might go ahead and trade one of their glutton of running backs in a couple of days. They might lose James Conner. So we're going to try to get as many things out in the open as possible before those last 2. But we'll give you updates of those things when they happen, of course. We're not just going to sit on them for 2 months and then wait. So it's going to be a fun summer. What do you think, Tanner? You ready for the summer? Ready to sludge through this?
Well, be careful by saying ready for the summer. My summer is a little bit different than yours.
Well, yeah, your summers you can cook eggs on the sidewalk and actually make breakfast. My summers I go outside and I die from the humidity. So we're kind of like on polar opposites here. I'll trade you.
Missouri loves company.
That's true. Missouri? Oh, misery. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, thanks, guys. As always, I'm Tanner. That's John. This has been Birds Coast to Coast. Later.